Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Ron, and I speak to inspire. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about overgeneralizing. Overgeneralizing, the dangers of overgeneralizing, and I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can stop doing that in your life. When you overgeneralize, you say things to yourself like, I always screw up. I never get to work on time. Nobody really cares for me. Everybody thinks I'm awkward. These are examples of overgeneralizing. When you overgeneralize, one mistake makes you a failure in life. One unsuccessful date makes you uninteresting and unwanted by all men and all women just because you had an unsuccessful date. One accidentally deleted email means that you're not good with computers. So when you overgeneralize, you create this rule in your life that you live by that confines you, as opposed to getting rid of the rule and actually freeing yourself to be able to live differently. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to overcome overgeneralizing. First thing is you have to get rid of absolute terms. An absolute term is when you use terms like all, every, when you say things like everybody and everyone, when you say none, when you say nobody, when you say things like nobody cares, nobody loves me, nobody understands. When you use terms like everybody, never, always, these are absolute terms and you have to get rid of these absolute terms. Why? Because it leaves no room for exceptions. It leaves no room for exceptions, and most of the time there's an exception to every rule in your life. And when you're living by this rule, it confines you, and you don't want to be confined. I'm going to give you a few rebuttals on how to overcome overgeneralizing. So here's something that you can say to yourself when you're thinking these thoughts. What evidence do I have for that conclusion? What evidence do I have for that conclusion? If you can't produce evidence for that conclusion, then you're overgeneralizing. You're not thinking about the situation the right way. Here's another one. Do I really have enough data to make this a rule in life? Do I really have enough data to make this a rule in life? So when you say to yourself that all men are dogs, all women are gold diggers, all rich people are snobs, do you really have enough data to say that all men are dogs? Is it more accurate to say that some of the men are dogs? That some of the men, that a lot of the men that you've dated are dogs, right? But you can't say all men are dogs because you haven't dated all men. You can't say that all women are gold diggers because you haven't dated all women. You can't say that all rich people are snobs because there are some great rich people out there who are down to earth and will give you the shirt off their back, but you have not met all rich people. So you can't make this a rule in life. You don't have enough data. Here's the third question. What other conclusion can this evidence support? What other conclusion can this evidence support? So when somebody says something offhanded to you, somebody says something wrong to you that irritates you, you come to a conclusion on that, right? You come to a conclusion about this person, about the situation, but what other conclusion can this evidence support? Maybe that person just lost their mother. Maybe that person just got a divorce, request, from their wife. Maybe that person just got a bad medical diagnosis. They just found out that they had cancer, and that's why they said the thing to you. But you don't realize because you have a cognitive distortion. So sometimes things happen and they can mean something different. So you have to ask yourself that question. Here's the last one. No absolutes. Say to yourself, no absolutes quantify everything. No absolutes quantify everything. So when you quantify things, you say 50% of the time this happens, and 50% of the time it may not happen. You say to yourself, on a scale from 1 to 10, maybe 60% of my dates don't go well, but 40% of them do. So it gives it allows exceptions to the rule that you've created, and it helps you to not overgeneralize, put yourself in a box and put other people in boxes at the same time. This is a really interesting topic. If you want to learn more about it, Matthew McKay and Patrick Fanning actually wrote a book called Self-Esteem, and they have a whole chapter in the book on cognitive distortions, and these are thinking errors, ways that you might be thinking that might be impacting your life and the people that are around you. So I hope you guys got something out of this video. I'm sure you can think about a way that you overgeneralize, and now you can start asking yourself, what evidence do I have to support that conclusion? Stop yourself, question yourself a little bit, and you'll realize that you don't have enough data to support the way that you're thinking, and maybe you'll think differently as a result. So if you guys like this video, please like the video, please leave a comment, please subscribe if this is on YouTube, and if you really appreciated the video and you think somebody else will learn from it, please share the video, with a friend or family member. So thank you guys for joining, and stay tuned for the next video. God bless.